Hello again, it's Priscilla from Spring Hill, Florida. Well, I'm not from here actually. I'm from New York, upstate in fact. But I am living in Spring Hill, Florida, and I do try and attempt to curate the Spring Hill Expressionist Art Studio Gallery. It's slow going because nobody buys art in Spring Hill. This is my OXO Good Grips omelet turning spatula listed on my Amazon link at the top of my description. And I like it for one reason and one reason only. It spreads paint like magic, and I love that about it. It's just done and done and done again. So I have just finished playing with a couple of pieces of art. I made a couple videos, well actually one. The other one was just a part 2 finished because it wasn't the way I wanted it to be yesterday. But anyway. So I have a lot more paint on here than I thought I was going to have, but that's okay. It's really hot and paint is drying really fast, so I don't actually mind at this point if there's a little extra. Because that way I'll be sure that it won't dry before I'm ready for it to be dry. Even though it's probably, God, 90s. Anyway, in the bucket with that for right now. Now, let me put this aside for a moment and show you what I'm going to do. And move these other canvases out of the way. I am not. I try and be organized, but I am not the most organized person. Okay, so I have this gorgeous paint left over, and it is gorgeous paint, but I want to do a dustpan pour. And in order to do that, I need a dustpan, and I need that paint and that dustpan. So I'm going to use my little Princeton spatulas, which are awesome, by the way, and I recommend highly. And I'm going to see what I can do by adding a bunch of color. Even though it's completely obnoxious color, I'd like it to be a little slightly different than what I've got. I didn't actually put any pink in there to begin with. And I didn't use any red either. And I'm going to see what happens if I put that in there for right now. Ooh, we got storms again. And I'm going to use my little spatula as gently as I possibly can and push all of that down into my pan, and it looks like we have a goodly amount of paint and that there's still room for some black or white probably. Let's see what else I got. I don't know. I think I have probably rescued enough paint from there, and the rest of it might be a little sticky from sitting around. So I'm going to put that in the bucket too. Nice to keep a nice water bucket handy. Always good if you're using spatulas to have wet cotton rags around that you can clean your hands and clean your spatulas with. Get that out of here. What's that? A bobby pin. Okay then, I have a really pretty, that's dripping down. Okay, how do I stop that? I don't. I'm just going to let that go. Never mind. I got some gorgeous paint. It's not coming out super fast. Didn't use much of that blue last time. Let's go that way. I wonder what I can do about that. I can't do much. I could put, I know what I can do. Yeah, I better be careful of that. Okay. So, this is going to be pretty bizarre. I haven't used any of this. I want some of that pink again. I didn't put any black or white in there. And I'm going to run out of space, I can see. And I can always add paint to the canvas, which is probably exactly what's going to happen. Although, I am pretty stubborn about giving up my dream. So, now, as quickly as possible, I'm going to put this over the side. Hopefully without dropping too much of it anywhere. Yep, I was right about the black paint and the drying day. What I'd really like to do is swivel my turntable, and I don't have the faith in myself or confidence, and I haven't tried it before, so it might be a bit on the risky side. Anyway, so I want some white pearl, and I didn't put any of that in there, and I am going to shove that right over there and do exactly as I please again. And now that I see that I don't have, yeah, that's what I wanted. And I gotta remember I can put more in there. So I'm gonna take this, my hot little hand, and I'm gonna try, I usually Okay. Here goes nothing. Now, I bought myself a second spatula for moments just such as this. Hopefully my head's not completely obliterating your view. I know that's been known to happen to me. Sorry. I'm trying to do better. I really am. Now, as much as I like those colors down there, this is going in the bucket. I think I want some pink in there. And whatever else I'm going to put down before I start to tip. And I did pull out the white pearl, and I liked it. I'm going to do it again. I've got an edge catcher, which if you haven't seen before, you should know, catches the edge of the paint before it falls over the side. And that's kind of cool. We can also drag a skewer through here at some point in time. I'd like to remember all of the things, all of the techniques I do at once. I'd also like to not think that I'm going to completely ruin that by whatever choice I make in a minute. But I kind of like it. Now this is my edge catcher, and I thought it was going to be pretty, and I'm not too worried about what happens to it at this point, because it's definitely showing its usefulness. I don't want to lose all that orange. I just don't. I have no paint on the sides of my canvas, which means I have a perfectly good place to hold on. This is sort of like tipping slow like a ring pour, but it's definitely not a ring pour. And I can see what I want to do, because I don't know what I want to do. Take a moment, put my glasses on my face, see what happens when we torch, and contemplate what I was contemplating earlier with the 12 minutes I have left, which is to take something cool and see what happens. So just knock that right over the side so we have something to cover the side right there. And there's quite a bit of paint there, which means I can make almost any mark I want right now. And it will heal the gap I leave by drawing it through there. I'd like a little more, but I think if I'm going to do what I'm saying I'm going to do, then I'm going to also need to scoop it up with something. I mentioned that it was hot. I don't want to lose all that black space, but I don't know that we need it either. Now you watch the paint will just fill right back in there because it's, and if it doesn't, yeah, be that way, go ahead. If it doesn't, I've got my spatula. And anytime I pull my spatula out, it's going to create a swipe effect anyway, which is something I've been wanting to do a lot. Just take the spatulas and see what happens if I swipe. And because there's quite a bit of paint on there, it's also going to be handy to cover the edges right there. It looks like a big dragon heart to me right now, but it won't probably when I'm done. Alright, I've got a little bit of gaposis over here. My canvas is showing through. I kind of want to do something bizarre, like pick some paint up from somewhere else and see what happens by dropping it down again. I don't mind the black on black. I don't mind a few subtle areas. Where'd that spot go? Oh look, it completely disappeared. And it's not done disappearing yet either. So I can drag my spatula up, or I can drag it down, either way. I've got paint on there, and because my edges were nice to be able to hold on to, they're not covered, so anytime there's an excess amount of paint, I'll just use it. You go right down there. And maybe even finish the design. Steal some paint. Tap, tap, tap. Yeah, okay. Well, that's neat. And I'm not unhappy with any of that so far, but I'm wondering what else I want to do. I can come back with my squeeze bottles and fill in any place that I disrupt. I also at this point could probably very easily take my tubing and have a look around and see what kind of mayhem I can cause with that. I like that pink there. I like it down over the edge too. And I got a little extra over there and it's not bothering me, so I think I'm just going to go for it. Right up the side. Let's just give it a little bit more of a tip. And let's blow on it a little bit. Let's find my tubing and see what happens. I kind of wanted to keep that white up there, so I'm going to just let the pearl do its thing. And I'm going to use it down here too to cross back over, because that's kind of neat. And what else do I want to do? I like this, but I kind of like some of it to go up. I don't really want that blue to go away, but I like the idea of adding that white in there quite a bit. So I haven't wiped off my skewer. I don't mind the paint that's on there blending with the paint that I'm messing with. I love making those loopy patterns. Aren't they cool? They're just awesome. And I could probably wipe off my spatula down here, take advantage of some of that pearl that's on there, mess with these patterns, so long as I don't completely eradicate or uncover the canvas, or I don't want it uncovered. I am having fun just messing around, and that's basically what I'm doing right now, is just messing around. Loving making those patterns. Wow. There's some cool stuff going on in there, but not as cool as the stuff that I'm making going on in there. Making go on in there? Yeah. No, I never was an English grammar major. That is a certainty. I respect people's ability, but I don't have much of it myself, I gotta say. More than some, not as much as others. I like that pink over here and what it's doing so much. We got 6 minutes left, and I want to use every bit of paint that comes off that spatula. I do. I really do. So I'm just going to keep taking my fingers, because I can always fix it later if I've got some paint hanging around on the tile, or I just completely moved away from the direction I was going in. If you're willing to agitate the paint and take a chance, you're bound to get something interesting that you like the look of eventually. I am having fun making those patterns. Wow, I love doing that. We've experienced my euphoria before. Sometimes it's justified. Yes, I'm very happy. Now, coming back right down to where I was, I'm going to scrape my spatula off and not worry about anything. I like that. I like it so much. I think I'm just going to keep taking advantage of that like. Follow that back up there again. See what happens. Doesn't work perfectly every time, but it's certainly worth trying. Because with me, I have the squeeze bottles. I can always fill in. As long as things aren't drying up too quickly, I always can fill in. I don't know if I want to continue going too awful far, because there's bound to be a point where I shouldn't do it anymore. I'm not sure what that point is, though. And it is way too much fun. Yes, not only is it way too much fun, I think I'm almost done allowing myself the pleasure of doing it. Great patterns. So, what's really left at this point is for me to decide. I want to put a little black down here. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know that you can, but I'm loving this whole piece. It's great for me. Anyway, I'm just going to lead that black right up through and then back down again. And then I'm going to take the excess and fill in that one last spot that's left over down there. And give you a shot at this. I'm going to wipe off my spatula for a change as thoroughly as possible, and I'm going to take this white without trying to destroy too many cool things as I go. And I'm very pleased, I gotta say. Again, not certain that that's perfect without, I think I need a little bit of this and maybe a little bit of that. And maybe a little bit of that. Yes, I like that black, excuse me, that gold line up there. And I did not replace my rag at the end of my painting, and I probably should have. Yes, I love dragging the skewers through. I love making the patterns. I needed to entertain myself today, honestly. I've been working hard, editing things. I'd like to say I've been labeling things, but I've been procrastinating about that in an almighty way. I think I'm almost done, which is probably good. Okay, we got 2 minutes left, and that's just enough time for me to tell you my OXO Good Grip spatula, or remind you if I told you already, God knows, is connected to the Amazon link at the top of the description on my video, as well as a Patreon and a PayPal link for donations if you want to help me keep the studio going. I don't have any other income until I start selling some artwork. My artwork is all for sale. You can see prints and reproductions on t-shirts and coffee mugs of whatever I have posted at Fine Art America, also called pixels.com. What else? I have a Facebook album. This is awesome. I love this. I have a Facebook album that will show you all the dry artworks. Where is my bamboo skewer? Because I want to see what happens when I go there. Yes. Not even a swirl in sight. I think we should fix that. Yeah, let's have 1 or 2. Yep, perfect. Or 3, or 5. Addicted to swirls. I don't know why I didn't think of that earlier. Probably because it looks so good without it. Alright, so we got very little time left. And I'm super happy with this. I like combining the used colors or the leftover colors with the solid colors, and I like putting it on a white canvas so it'll move around. I love skewering it. I love dragging my spatula through. I just had a ball. Thank you for joining me. I want to thank everybody who's contributed to keep me painting. I really super appreciate everything you've done for me. You're helping me pay for the camera that I need to replace, and buying me new paint and new canvas. I ran out of canvas the other day and went back and bought more 16 by 20s, which are lately my favorites. And I appreciate all your comments. I love your comments. It's so nice that you talk to me. And I feel like I have friends in the audience all the time, and it makes it very easy to want to do this for y'all. This is cool. I don't know who's going to love it as much as me, but I love it. So, I will say, goodbye from Priscilla at Expressionist Art Studio Gallery in Spring Hill, Florida.